there's a lot of equity sitting there tempting people who own houses. What's the right and wrong of that equity? We're going to talk about that. How much have home prices inflated in the United States? Well, if Zillow's right, we have an incredible amount of value in homes in the United States, 55 trillion. Equity, little less than half that. And this is bonkers, what people have paid versus what homes are worth. And on top of it, try to imagine this, roughly a third of homes people own free and clear. So if you are someone who is fortunate enough, you're in a position to buy a home, own it, see the values of it rise over the years, you're the opposite side of the people who are trying to buy their first home and can't because of the lack of affordability in the housing market. You are in the sweet spot. So what's happening now, marketing everywhere you turn, the banks want to get part of that back from you. They're pushing home equity lines of credit, home equity loans. They're trying to get you lured into using that equity in your home like it's a piggy bank. Let me tell you, the only thing you should be using that equity in your home for is to improve that home, to do repairs needed, to put that new roof on if needed. But you don't want to let lifestyle creep erode what you've been fortunate enough to develop, which is this equity that is an enormous potential source of financial security and long-term wealth. When you use equity that you have built up in your home as a spending source, you're then mortgaging your future when you do that. Because instead of, like clockwork, building up equity with the payments on your mortgage, if you have one, you're doing the reverse now. You're taking that equity you have and you're eating it up, hurting your future financial independence and future wealth. The banks so badly want more interest income. And they are thrilled to lend you against that equity. And it's tempting because, you know, your neighbor got that new car and you think, I'd like to have one of those too. Hey, I got all this equity. I'll just use it to buy the car. Or, you know, I've always really wanted to have a fill in the blank, whatever that fill in the blank is. And it's so simple, so easy. The paperwork to secure that, particularly a HELOC, is so teensy tiny. And now the big lure are financial institutions offering you a HELOC at no closing costs. They just want you to start writing those checks, pulling that money against it, and creating that revenue stream for the financial institution. And so remember, there's nothing wrong if your particularly credit unions offer these no-fee home equity lines of credit. Nothing wrong with you having it for an emergency repair or something like that on your home. Having it in place. But it's when how you use it is what can be helpful or hurtful. It's your choice. But I can tell you, long term, it's much better that you never use that home equity line of credit for lifestyle, period.